Growing protests tonight in Minneapolis. An ICE agent shot a woman there, witnesses say, in the face as she was in her car. She is dead. He killed her. And you are looking at live pictures right now of the streets in Minneapolis. You can see all of those lights. This is a vigil near the site where the shooting took place. Crowds have been growing all night. They are chanting, "Say her name." And we have just learned the victim's name. She is a 37-year-old woman, as we said, and her name is Renee Nicole Good. Renee Nicole Good. She was shot and killed today. And ICE claims that the agent opened fire after Good, quote, weaponized her vehicle in an attempt to kill him, a federal.
In that crowd is members of Sons of Liberty, and helping to keep them safe are people on my crisis response team. And I say my with pride because I couldn't do anything today. They did it by themselves. They've been doing it by themselves. I've had other things to do for a long time. They're amazing. They have passed the test. Will we? What's up, YouTube? Drill Sergeant. And yeah, this is just a test. That may sound weird. What I'll do first is show you the short that I made. You'll see, maybe you'll get a point or a little bit of it. And if you don't believe me, just watch what I was going to put out yesterday, which is the most chilling, scary part about this, is that this is what I was going to put out yesterday, the day before this incident. Check it out. What you're looking at is the program that I use to make the videos that I show you, iMovie. And this was in here, ready to go, and I just couldn't make the video for you. So watch the raw.
Now, our system is set up to give the president, any president, real power to make decisions on national security and foreign policy. And that's because when it comes to keeping us safe from attack, a commander-in-chief needs the power to make quick decisions. As someone who worked in both a Republican White House and a Democratic White House, I saw these critical decisions made up close. You need the power to act when it's about life and death. But Trump has laid out a whole lot of enemies that are American citizens. And if he's willing to use lethal force against enemies abroad, as we've been seeing, what's stopping him from using lethal force against enemies here at home? That question should chill every American to the bone. And I'm giving this speech today because I believe that's exactly the plan. I believe that Trump is ready to bring the full weight of the federal government against Americans he perceives as enemies. Why? Because he has one goal: making sure that he and his ilk never have to give up power. Now, to be clear, I don't say this lightly, but I think between the strikes in the Caribbean, his efforts to identify domestic terrorists, and his deployment of force in American cities, that seems to be where we're headed.
I'm not the only one who thinks that. This is also a test. What do I mean by that? Listen closely, please. Everything is a test. Everything is pushing the boundary to see how much, how far we can take it. Every first time is just a first time. When they tried to put the military in the streets and people started suing and started fighting back as much and as hard as they could, finally the Supreme Court stopped it. If we don't show up to say that this is unacceptable and will not be tolerated, there will be more. Likely there'll be more anyway. Because the test is ongoing. This is a test. And we can pass or fail by our response. Resistance, members. Yeah. It's called escalation. And this is a test. So far, a few people have passed it. So far, certain situations have passed certain tests. But now I want to show you a video, and this is the intro to a status quo report on this story. But more important is the intro, because I want to show you, here are the tests that have been made and presented to the American people.
You could help build the only independent news outlet, always on the ground with the people for as low as 16 cents a day.
Corporate media, they've been lying to us for years, and you're going straight to the people.
Flint, Michigan.
Brooklyn, New York.
Government sending one more you to the residents of Chicago.
We need as many independent voices as possible, and that's why what you guys do is so fucking important.
Covering what the corporate media covers up.
Every one of those times, every one of those instances is called escalation. The test wasn't passed, we failed the test, and so they escalated. Now, it doesn't mean that all of us, nobody's doing anything. People are fighting. That's not enough. That's all there is to it. I know that sounds harsh, but it's not an indictment. It's simply a statement meant to motivate even more, even more. Let me show you what a passing grade looks like. By the way, in that area, ICE has not returned. They've passed the test. They've passed the test. Many are poor. They can't just leave work and do whatever they want. But the ones who could find a way to do what they needed were enough. They're Haitians, and they're only a 0.00 something percent of the population. So if you're asking, when are the black folks coming? Stop that. Stop it. They did what they had to do to save their community and answered the test, and immediately no more ICE has gone there. Now, those streets have to look like the Haitian streets did. When ICE is there, that's the key. Or like some of the streets in North Carolina did when ICE is there, to show them no one is scared and there's not enough trucks or bullets, so you won't shoot. When the streets look like that, when ICE is there, that will win the test. What we're doing now is a definite passing grade. Don't give it up is the key. Don't stop. Find out the networks, the texting, the calling. Get the houses in order, get your neighborhood in order, whatever group you belong to, if you need one. Holla at me. But make sure when ICE is there that the streets look like they do now. This is freaking tear-jerking. This is what we needed. Until you realize there's more of us than there is of them. The next escalation will go from pepper balls on a roof to pepper balls in the face to pepper balls pointed at you on the ground to bullets in the face to bullets in multiple faces to firing squads. I hope it doesn't wait until it gets to the fruition of the obvious natural progression of this test before we pass it. At some point we will. I just hope it's not when that question gets asked. That's the story for today. The time to fight is now.
Hey, yeah, you. Before you click away to watch someone unbox a tactical toothbrush, let's talk about something real. Political Drain isn't just another content mill. We're a digital front in a very real war. Not with bullets, but with ideas, with action, and with solidarity. We pair urgent news with critical education. And we build community around actual resistance, not the hashtag kind, the kind that moves. But here's the thing, none of this is free. It isn't. Behind every video is time, labor, research, and some weird guy asking if we're gonna pay the hosting bill. And yeah, some of that money goes to things we can't necessarily say out loud. If you know, you know. Let's just say our special ops aren't Call of Duty LARPers. They're people making real moves to protect, uplift, and organize. You're not just funding a channel. You're funding a resistance network in a world where capital still calls the shots. Unfortunately, in a system built on artificial scarcity, even mutual aid has a price tag. And if we want to grow, if we want to win, we need your help. We need your help. So if you've got even a few bucks to spare, toss it our way. It's not for ads, it's not for merch drops, but for people making moves in the shadows so others can do it in the light. It's just us and you. So fund the mission, fund the fight, fund the future, because nobody's coming to save us. We save each other. That's how this works. Ground News has very quickly become one of my most prized resources, my go-to even, because I get to find out what stories are not covered by the blind spot feature, which I love, but not just the blind spot feature. Any of these stories that I bring up, I can see what either side is saying about it. I can also see who's paying for those headlines. It tells me who owns the publication, which also lets me know who they're writing it for. Many times, none of that is for us, but understanding the context helps us understand the story. Ground News is absolutely one of, if not the best way to know that you've gotten every side of a story and that there's not enough spin in the world that could have you misinterpret it.